Well, hello and welcome to part 3 of episode 29. The day after, 23rd of March, a lot more reaction in regard to the future fixtures, just a lot more opinion and reaction of the Christy Nicholson Fantasy Pub League and everything that's to do with FPL top dogs Ballyhaunis. And we're still in it. We're flicking on to game week 31. Couple of weeks' time, 2nd of April-ish. Only one double game, Weaker Burnley and Everton. They both have an extra fixture, and that's nothing to really get too het up about. If you've already got a Burnley, fair enough. They have a double against City as well in 33, which is tricky enough. But apart from that, their fixtures look pretty good. Definitely to have a Pope in there and possibly a Weghorst as your third striker, but I think most people prefer a 5-man midfield. These 3 strikers is just been a waste of time all season, to be brutally honest. So let's probably no need to share the screen so much. I probably will actually, just in case I forget. But welcome to FPL Top Dogs Ballyhaunis. And our little league here based in East Mayo, and the Midwest Triangle between Galway and Roscommon, Ballinlough to Milltown, Ballindine to Ballyhaunis to Claremores to Ohermore, wherever you're from, wherever you're watching. Maybe you have a team in the Christy Nicholson. Hopefully you guys will next season, and hopefully I've whetted your appetite to join us, make the league bigger and better. As you can see, the standard is just super hot. Look, I think Steve Nolan's about 30,000 in the world, out of 9 million players. Conor Hus's first season in the Christy Nick is just destroying it. He's loving it. And Joey Neenan, who won it last year in 79th in the world, absolutely. He won the Christy Nick in his first inaugural year. He's going for 2 out of 2, which, you know, he was favourites at the beginning. The guys here now don't have many chips left. Steve Stret's got none, but it can be navigated, the fixtures. There is a lot of rotations. West Ham are still in Europe. They've got Barcelona to play in the Europa League. You know, obviously City are still in it with Atletico Madrid, I think. Chelsea are still in it with Real Madrid. You know, there's and also Leicester in the conference, and then they're playing PSV as well. So we have to bear in mind for the next, you know, after the international break from 32 to 30, 34, 35, maybe even up to 37. In game week 37, West Ham, if they get to the final, which the planners who make the fixtures, when they're planning, they can't just assume that Man City are going to play West Ham in game week 37, because that's the same time if they get into the final. So there is an outside possibility if West Ham gets to the final, the West Ham game will be rejigged, and the spare Wolves game that City have to rearrange will be thrown in there in game week 37 along with West Ham, which would be played probably 3 days prior to the final or after the final, whichever happens first. So City possibly won't have that double game week in 36 with Wolves, and I'm not sure if it's Newcastle or not out of the top of my head. So that's just something just to consider. So people who want to get their free hit done in 36 and with all their Man City assets need to be aware of that. There's going to be massive rotation in City with the Champions League. United have a free hit now. They're out of everything, along with Spurs, Arsenal. They will all be going gung-ho for the Premier League. So we have to consider, obviously, if you got Spurs, I'd keep them. If you've got any Arsenal, definitely have a couple. There's going to be no rotation there. So to fit in your likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Fernandes, if you haven't got them, are they worth the risk? Nobody's going to get rid of their Son or their Kane at this stage. Yeah, also there's obviously Burnley, they have the double in 31, but they're going to have doubles in 33 and 34. And also there's another possibility of Villa having a double in 34 and 35. Burnley and Villa. 34, yeah, definitely 34. There's a crazy stipulation that Villa and Burnley, they could be playing in the same game week back to back, 34 and 35. Well, obviously 35 and 36 back to, so they're going to have to figure out that paradox. They don't really want to have Burnley and Villa playing back to back games together. They probably want to have a different game week spaced. So that's another interesting stipulation. Another thing about Chelsea. Let's see, what about Chelsea? About yeah, City. I've said about City. Chelsea. Game week 37. Now, they're still in the FA Cup. They could still be in the Champions League. They probably have nothing to play for. They probably have nothing to play for in game week 37 and 38. Their position will be fairly safe, in the Premier League. It's kind of a risk, not a risk, but how great is the risk? Let's April. I want to get all the fixtures. So yeah, this is a good one. This is the beginning. This is after the international break. So Chelsea versus Brentford. 3 days later, Real Madrid, then Southampton, Chelsea. Now I think they've got leads to rearrange, and the 12th. This is crazy stuff that's going on. Real Madrid. There has to be a lot of rotation here. The FA Cup now. Will they? Obviously Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira will obviously be all out to. That's a massive London derby, and the South London at that. And look, I wouldn't put it past Palace, but Chelsea. Is it a good time to play them? Real Madrid. Now they'll be hoping that they've got a cricket score at Stamford Bridge, but this is Real Madrid at the end of the day, who were trounced by Barcelona in the La Liga, Serie A, or whatever it is over in Spain, 3 or 4-0 without. So Bale is to come back into that team, I presume. So what sort of team? Anyway, they should probably have. They got 2 good 11s anyway. It's a shame that I did that. Click off this. They got 2 good 11s. That probably manages, but still, it's a lot. And so the crack at the end of the throwing in their games, they could have, Chelsea, Arsenal. That's a hairy one as well. Chelsea, West Ham. So game week 37, they probably have a cup game. Then they'll have a Premier League game on Tuesday, another Premier League game on Thursday, and then they'll have the final game. Of the season in game week 38. So that's like nearly 4 games in 8 or so days. So that's definitely something to consider when you're getting your Chelsea in. I don't think I would go 3 Chelsea. Okay, definitely one. Most people have got Rudiger. I have to keep an eye on James. He'll be nursed, I would say. Will they rush him back for Brentford? I don't know. They might probably want him more for Real Madrid. Then it's Southampton. Throw Lukaku up front. Keep Havertz fresh again if they need him for here. Pulisic there. They have massive options all over the place. Christensen will come in there. They all have Chalobah as well. Sarr, not so much. He's a slight liability, but he's learning. So I can see Chelsea navigate well, but the rotation thing I am very worried about. Havertz, of course, he's definitely live option. I think he's still down as a midfielder in the game, and he's playing a false number 9. So that's just something to consider about Chelsea. Everybody here, I definitely have 1 Chelsea defender. Whether I'd have a midfielder, possibly 2 if you wanted. Well, yeah, Mendy, James, or Mendy, Rudiger, whatever you think. Asfalacheka, will he play all the games? I don't know. At the moment, I'm not in a hurry to get any Chelsea in myself. I have a bit more firefighting to do in my own team, trying to get it ready for game week 33. And then I just have the bench boost left, as I discussed in the part 2, to figure out 9 double gamers. Still have to find out about TA, what's going on there. Yeah, loads of people now will be thinking about Man City assets. So depending on what West Ham do, they'll probably have their double in 36. City. You know, West Ham, you know, Fulham got to the, you know, the final, the Europa League final. Tottenham got to the Champions League final. Nothing is impossible for West Ham, especially if they get Bowen back. And definitely with the likes of Cresswell and Rice, you have a chance, and Fabianski is just quality. So, you know, I'm not writing off West Ham at all for the final, but it's probably likely that City will have Newcastle in 36 and Wolves in 36, play their West Ham in game week 37, and everything will be hunky-dory. Again, they are involved in so much, and the FA Cup, so it's very similar to the Chelsea, but the only catch, they probably don't have as many games to fit in as Chelsea at this stage. Nailed on for Premier League. There's going to be lots of rotation, so Foden's probably the best bet. I would love to get in KDB. I really would like to get him back. I had him for a few game weeks, and he bumped me up quite a bit. Was it realistically, Foden's probably the only one I can run to. You know, he will start some. You know, he will be involved in definitely Premier League games. It just depends. Again, can City run up something in the first leg? This is Atletico Madrid, so we've seen what they can do. You know, to United, they've just managed to wriggle clear and knock United out of that one. But yeah, City are definitely a good end for City there. You got Leeds, Watford, right? So everyone's thinking of these games coming near the rear of the season. Newcastle there, West Ham, that's the game in 37. And the Wolves game has got to be penciled in somewhere there, 36 or 37, but it looks like it will be there. So that's a great. So you know, I'm thinking myself, is it best to wait until 36 to get that bench boost? I have a good start already. I have a funny feeling this game week 36, 33 anyway. I'm not quite too sure about it, because if you look at City aren't Dublin, you know, I've discussed it before. And the more I look at this double game week 33, I think it can be a bit of a dodgy one. See, United have a nice one against Norwich, but then Liverpool away. Everyone seems to have an easy and then a tough game. Chelsea against Arsenal probably won't be, you know, if you got Chelsea, you won't want to get too many Chelsea in there. Arsenal can do something. They have the double, but you know what I mean? It's Southampton in there. So I think I'm not going to waste that bench boost at that point. I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and accept my league position at the minute as it stands. 363. 683 sounds like a dialing code to Namibia or somewhere, mate. It's sickening, but it is what it is. And there are statistics in here. We can look at the percentage of how many people in the top have used their chips, and how many, you know, 50% of a bench boost left in the top 10k, something, you know. So most of the top 10k have only 5% have left of the triple captain, and still 70% have a free hit left in the top 10k. So it tells you 50% have a bench boost. So it tells you most of them have played the wild card, only 15% haven't. So most of the top 10k still have a bench boost and free hit left, you know, or something like that. So they're in. It's going to be nearly impossible to crack that top 10k. For the guys that we have up here at the top, it's going to be really, really difficult to crack it. For our top four or five, well, the top four anyway. And good luck to them. You know, Starman there, the Commando, Husmeister, and the Stretford. They're absolutely killing it. And I want to always want to keep within 100 of the winner, 100 points. That's all I'm thinking about. And also the top 200,000. Now I'm thinking maybe can I get 250,000? Need a lot of luck, and I have to start trying to be a bit more. I've been as shrewd as I can with my transfers. I like Madison. Tony was on fire, and Schmeichel's got lots of, yeah. This is another thing as well. Leicester as well. I'm not so sure that they have a load of defenders, all right, but limited enough in midfielders. So they're going to have to play three at the back with two wingers, like attacking wingers, which they have plenty in that. They got Bufana back as well. But this is absolutely insane as well. Second, United. There's probably how many are going to, like, PSV is going to be massive for Leicester. A European, a cup, a trophy. Although it's the conference, it's fair enough. It's still something. PSV, big team, so that's going to be massive for Leicester. So what sort of team will be there now on the 10th of April against Palace? Probably Daka will probably play, but Harvey Barnes won't play every game. It's just another selection headache, and it's. I think there's been no need for all this congestion this year. The COVID, yes, but some of the fixtures have been abandoned because of snow or whatever it was. But still, high winds, whatever. But I think the international breaks, there's too many of them. Seriously sickening it. I think that's how the FAs around the whole world make their money. And now it's payback. They've had 2 years of misery, no money, and they're about probably 50% of the FAs around the world are about to go broke. I'm not sure, I don't know, but they've squeezed in too much. The players, pillar to post, especially African nation guys this year. It's been a total mess. Maybe next year it'll be some sort of resemble normality. I remember the good old days playing this FPL league, when I used to be winning it, and few Christie and few of the others, and we could predict this stuff. It was easy enough to predict who'd be playing here or there every other week. There was no major congestion, very little postponed games. Then COVID came and bang. So this is Leicester. So I'm not so sure. Newcastle, tricky enough for Leicester. Depends what will they get into the semi? Then all the semis will be in between here, a lot like. So I wouldn't have. I have 2 Leicester at the minute, of course. I'm happy enough to go with that, but I wouldn't be tripping up at them. I wouldn't be tripping up at Chelsea. Wouldn't be tripping up in City, not until that game week 36. It's definitely an outside. So I'm not panicking. There's no point at all if you've got Jimenez or any of these dudes, TA, getting rid of them now, because you could get, we don't know what's going to happen. 7.7. Okay, so his price hasn't dropped, but it'd be no point risking substitutions, 2 weeks, and we got an international break just here. So there was a lot to get in this video. That's just my take on everything here. What's the latest scores? Yeah, so still stuck in the Leicester thing. What's going on in the football universe? Not much really. I'm not even going to be getting too involved or who's playing who or whether. I think the only one that might interest is Egypt and Senegal. That should be a hum. What's this? What's the search? Fixtures, football. Chelsea. I think I just saw the Chelsea Spurs WSL game has been called off after a COVID outbreak. So COVID has reared its ugly head again. This variant it's just like BC1, BC. I don't know what it's just total. There is no appetite for any going back to forced lockdown measures over here in this country. I'm guaranteeing you. Liverpool, Man City, MAR' 1 FA Cup semi-final switched from. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the Etihad could be, but then again, it's all the promotions, the sponsorship, all the companies. They all want their lovely Wembley days and go into their nice Wembley bit and their conference halls, and it's really they should know better. It's all set up for the hospitality and media, these sort of semi-finals and finals. Oh, Tanzania are beating the Central African Republic, which is the Congo, I think. And Gibraltar, Grenada, folks. What time is it now? I better end. Oh, I've missed 20 minutes of it. It's not on yet. What's on tomorrow? Well, obviously football. Yeah, Poland. Nobody will be playing Russia at this stage. Ukraine's had to be called off. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know why I'm even doing this. What's the point? The Republic of Ireland team, for crying out loud. What the hell have we got to play for? Oh, just what we need. Belgium. We got hockeyed against Belgium, and then we hockey Lithuania. 5-0 to Belgium, and then 5-0 to us there. So that's my prediction. Whoopie-doo. That's the story. So only 2 games for Ireland. Much more to report. And the other video ended abruptly because internet issues. Not too bad today. So what happened in the King of the Travellers? We'll have a look at the standings first, and we still have Kieran Kiley there, really domineering, and I think his name is on the trophy here, really. And congrats, he's got a good mug for a photo, and some pub of his choice. He might want me to meet in Dubai to present the trophy. Hope not. You know, I mean, Dubai is a bit out of it's hard to squeeze in now. Took nearly about 6 weeks holidays in the last 3 months. That's Irish. 72. So yeah, 6 points. So that he's gonna have to lose 2 anyway. It's very hard to see. There's not many games left. Husmeister is there to keep him honest. Sean Gilday's made massive tracks, wins. It's all that's been going on, and the rest very unlikely. So that's the King of the Travellers. Anything outstanding in the results here? Husmeister winning out there. Very low game week. 40s and 50s is what you wanted. Yeah. So Stephen. Yeah, everyone's bet me in the King of the Travellers. Absolutely annus horribilis for the Wegmeister here. Need to forget about this. Absolute total disaster. Yeah, Aidan Fitz devastating there. 8 points. Cunyan, that was just the battle of who fell down first. Really. John Kelly done, Shane there. Owen Collins squeaks by. So top dogs, yeah, Starman does. Joey Fahey. The Oracle edged out Stret. Kylie takes out Jerry there on the 18th. So some absolutely terrible scores. I'm going to have to go into Richardson's team if it will let me. Well, how in God's name can you get 2 points? Well, I think we can make allowances here for Nilers. It's the 3rd game, I think, into the Mayo Super League here. And he's got his own real life 11 to be managing and sorting out. And that can be totally forgivable, it's totally understandable and forgivable. So yeah, he bet me 1 week and he didn't do anything. That was probably the week that Ronaldo got the hattie against Spurs. So a broken clock is right twice a day, I suppose. So that was my luck. But there you go. That's how we get 2 points. That's shocking. Can't believe it, mate. Man, what did Martinelli not even come on? No. Tony. So Ivan Tony was the hero there for Niler. Yeah, the Oracle's mad after me. I can't really understand that. There's 10 points. It's like the slow death. Mark Phillips, the slow death will finally creep up and catch you on the last game week, and then he gotcha. Catch you in the long grass. To be honest with you, I never look down. I only look up. That's the secret to my success. Not too far from Kylie. We've both got a bench boost less. It's all to play for. It's going to really come down to strategy and luck, and the international break. I am just hoping no one gets injured. I'm already firefighting as it is, especially with no Salah. That's scary. But with Liverpool's, run, they're going to have to rotate players. Fact. Same with City. So I'm not too sure. Really, Kane's going to be fine. We're going to have to be just analyzing players that will I get the last 7 or 8 games of the Premier League? Will I get the last 7? Will I get and the likelihood you will if they're out of Europe. So I think the double game week again on in 36 and obviously 33 coming up, they're going to be affected by the European games, so they could again be moot. False chalice, possibly. So comes down to guts. So who else? We got interfered a bit in the last video. I've got a little bit more time to chat about other teams. This is Sean Gildays, and Wolves are on the beach, so you need to get rid of all Wolves, especially they got a game in hand against City, which is not. They had their chances and they failed and floundered badly. Villa will have doubles against Burnley. Well, one against Burnley anyway. Villa will have their chance, but Coutinho has been shown to just do it really against the bottom half teams of the table, which is fair enough. I'm not sure where Villa are with anything. Look, Cash is probably the dude I'm impressed the most. So yeah, Salah, okay, didn't play. A foot thing going on. Havertz is very good. That looks really good. Have one Chelsea anyway. Leeds doing something now. Bamford injured again. 2 wins in a row. For me, they're not the future, although they will stay up this year, which is okay, fair enough. I just a bit upset. I didn't have my Spurs players in by the time they played them, and that 4-0, and that just destroyed me. That's where I've lost loads of points. I couldn't get a free hit, so I had them all done. And everybody did their free hit in that game week and totally destroyed me. That's true. I played mine, so it's fair enough for everybody else. I got momentum, and then it was taken back. So it was the answer to do nothing at all. I think it was all much the same, really. Hold your free hit and play it when everyone else did it, or play it and hope maybe down the line their free hit flops. That's just the way life works out. It's just random sometimes. So Sanchez has a double coming up in 33, so he should keep on to him. Just depends what Shawnee's got left. So Kulusevski was a brave shout. But if you've got someone like Kane or Son in your team, there's only one guy you should really be trusting with the armband. But it's a risk reward thing, It's a massive risk, massive reward. Like if Kulusevski did anything, it just goes to show that the Kulusevski debate trying to cancel out Son, it's not foolproof. No way is it foolproof. Yeah, so I test with the Oracle's team. Okay, Doherty, fair enough. He's cheapish. Got some games ahead. Arsenal are gold. All their players, Tierney, Saka, are the ones you want. Although Tierney's attacking returns is not terrific. Lacazette has been getting returns. I'm to be honest with you, Saka and a defender. Now Ramsdale's gone, so I'm not so sure. Maybe Tierney is just the best option. Coutinho now is a massive differential at this stage. Not many have him. But I think Villa are out of Europe, so they're out of everything. They shouldn't concentrate on, just the Premier League. But are they on the beach? Because they're safe. Wolves are safe. This is the problem we're having. Leeds now are going to be really 80% safe, in my opinion. Unless they lose all their games. they've won massive ones. And look, Fraser's not playing now and again. Brower, I'm not convinced he is a facilitator, but he's not coming on given attacking bonuses. Chalobah is very good, interesting, will play games. So Salah's a massive thing for, I can get caught with Salah, but again, we'll have to see if this guy is going to be rested. Morgan Lyons, what's going on with Morgan? He's got a bit of Leicester in there. Armatri is the one I have, facilitator. All these Wolves have to go. You can have them, but McGovern, there's a bit of work to do in this team already. At least Son and Kane's a good combo. Very heavily reliant on Son, on Spurs, actually. I'm not sure about Martinelli. Didn't play. Saka is the one. Cash is phenomenal. Not a great bench boost if he's got one left there. So there is a lot to consider. There's not many, I don't think many doublers. He's got the Arsenal doublers, okay, but there's not much in the line of doublers. I don't even think Spurs have a double in this game week 33. This is the one we all have to build for, especially if you haven't got. And Spurs don't have a double, so it's your Newcastles, Brightons, United, Arsenal, and there's not much in the line there. So whether he's a free hit left or whatever, he can do that in 33. Get out of it. Free hits now are just absolutely, they'll get you up 10 between 5,000 to 50,000 places, depending, at this stage. The free hits are just phenomenal if you have one left. And the wild card, oh my God. But most wild cards are already used. In the top 10, though, 10K, but obviously a lot less would have been used. Maybe a lot have to catch up in the top 50K. So that's why they're there, is because they haven't used some of their chips yet. A lot like Joey Neenan, who's still got 3 options left in chips, which is just mind-boggling. So he's going to go for a late run, playing his cards straight, and he's still got a shot. He's got a shot, Joey. A minimum of top 10K finish, if not better. Oh yeah, so this is helping himself. Smith Rowe in and out. Madison's good shout. James, fair enough. He's the one everyone's thinking about. Slight knock. Okay, he's going to be back, but he's always amongst the attacking points and defensive points. So yeah, I would like to get James in myself. He's gone in instead of he's got Van Dijk, and he's got tripped up in Liverpool. Again, there's not a lot in double game week scenario. I don't even think Chelsea have a double game week. They just have Arsenal. Yeah. So this is just to be keeping in mind whatever you have. Let's have a quick look. I suppose 1703. Well, that's the guru killer, isn't it? It's hard to say now, really, with a lot of. The only thing is to say that Kevin is only 5 going, so he's not really looked at it. And this is the problem in FPL, is that when you lose touch with the you're over nearly 300 points down and no hope, it's kind of let it go. And for me, the whole game, it's like it's part of my life and thinking, really, every day and every week. And even if I feel I'm doing crap, which I am now, it's top 7 and it's outside chance for a top 5. Last year got a top 6. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say, really. A lot of these now have got very, very low people going. Snowman. No, just for respect out of the Snowman, I won't click into his team, just out of respect, because he is a legend of the Christy Nicholson. Probably the only time to win the Triple Crown, which is some going. But to win this second thing, get your trophy and stay around town and around the area. And let's hope that the top dogs, Ballyhaunis and the Christy Nicholson, King of the Travellers and the Kirkclap Memorial, they will go down as something worth winning and a bit of pride. And we also have a lot to consider in the future about merch as well. I have options in Malaysia for merch, and the guys will have their hats eventually, thank God. And obviously next year we'll have a pro Top Dogs Pro League, and I think something like €25, €20 or something for the whole season. And if you're a serious player, I would say up to maybe about 15 to 20 of these would throw in €20 for the season and have a crack at it. And, you know, definitely we'd have down to top 5, possibly spot prizes or something, or we'll figure out something anyway. The main thing, I think there will be interest, and somebody will get some good money out of it. So yeah, that's all we need to say about the crack this week. I can take now the next couple of weeks off and just monitor how the international break goes, especially if there's any injuries. I keep up to date with FPL Scout, Andy from Let's Talk, sometimes FPL Mate, one or two others, maybe the official FPL podcast. But I've not been really watching too much of the guys because they're always talking about wildcards, how to play, free hits. Oh, how do you play free hit this week? I have none of them, so I'm not going through the torture of watching this stuff. But yeah, I could do more about statistics, but I'm not into statistics. That's possibly, yeah. If I was, I might be 20,000 places higher, but for me, it's not fun when you're just dictating the game by, you know, expected goals or expected assists or whatever. It helps, but I think it's basically form and fixtures. You can get most of your decisions right. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody. Give us a like, a subscribe. Not that I want to become mega famous or anything like that. It's just something out there for anyone who wants to get a breakdown of what's happening locally in our big league. So anyway, so we'll say adieu for that. Au revoir, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, do побачення, davai, and you know, Shlangolath.